Jillian's Place is asking men and male identifying allies to prove that they are brave enough to participate in the annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. Joining me in studio is Director of Development and Communications, Graeme Dargavel. Graeme, this is the 18th annual event, and again, it's at the Niagara Pen Centre. Is that right?
It is at Niagara Pen Centre. We're so excited. We look forward to this time of year every year, and we're calling on Niagara's men and male identifying allies, the business community to really rally. 18 years we've been doing this, and sadly our work is not yet done.
And Graeme, the Niagara Pen Centre, I remember as a kid, I can't believe that the inside of it is actually close to a mile. Ain't that wild?
Yeah, it is close to a full mile that men and male identifying allies do walk through the Pen Centre. And of course, the heel is synonymous with Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. It represents kind of the struggles that a survivor faces. But we encourage all footwear, and I see you've got some here.
I got some from my closet here. So this is the safety shoe, and this is the, I guess, what is this, a Croc, or what is this?
Yeah, we've got Crocs.
Sure
the mayor of St. Catharines last year wore a high heel purple Croc. So we encourage people to be creative and, dress up, show team spirit, and really come in solidarity.
Now, you have a fundraising goal?
$125,000.
And a good chunk of that is already raised. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so as of this morning, just on the way to the studio, we've raised $15,000 in peer-to-peer fundraising. But on top of that, we also have sponsorship revenue. So we're so thankful to our corporate community. Penn Financial is once again our presenting sponsor, but we've actually raised over $30,000 just in sponsorship revenue. And that, ensures that every dollar that's donated through peer-to-peer fundraising is going right into programming. 18
teams so far, is that right? And there's some pretty big names. Niagara Casinos, Niagara College, Brock University, who else?
CA Niagara, and just people that rally their friends and their colleagues. And so we're so incredibly thankful for everyone who comes year after year, and we know it's hard, and people are kind of struggling in our community and really watching where their dollars are going. And people really rally behind the causes that they care about, and we're so very appreciative.
Graeme, there was some big news regarding Niagara Region naming this an epidemic, is that right?
Yeah, last year, just before Walk a Mile in Her Shoes last year, Niagara Region joined over 90 other municipalities across Ontario in declaring intimate partner violence an epidemic. And really that is a result of advocacy efforts from organizations like Jillian's Place and Birchway Niagara.
Why is that important, really, to name that for your organization?
We're hoping more resources flow from the province and also the federal government, but also just bringing attention and awareness to the issue of intimate partner violence, and specifically the rising increases in domestic homicide, or more accurately described as femicide. So by supporting Jillian's Place, we have to fundraise over $1 million every year. When I started 5 years ago, that number was $500,000. So it really kind of speaks to the demand we're seeing in the community. And by supporting, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, you really are helping extend a lifeline to survivors in our community.
So we're going to be funding 24/7 support lines, crisis calls, all that kind of stuff. But there's also, you did 2,500 safety plans last year.
When I say a lifeline, we have our 24/7 emergency shelter, which is always full, often over capacity. But we also have our 24/7 crisis support line. Over 6,000 crisis calls and texts were answered last year. But over 2,500 individual safety plans were created to survivors living in the community. So help mitigating the risk of lethality for women and children.
I want to go back to the region naming this an epidemic because it joins, 90 municipalities?
Today it's over 90 municipalities.
There's strength in numbers, right?
Yeah, and we're waiting for Bill C-173, the Intimate Partner Violence Act, to declare intimate partner violence province-wide in Ontario as well.
Graeme, I always say this, but you're having a 50-50 draw, is that right?
That's correct. We thought, this is a busy time for Jillian's place, and like I said, needing to raise over $1 million every year. And so we thought, why not add a digital 50-50 onto kind of all of our events throughout the fall. So it started on September 9th, runs through Walk a Mile. We have a $500 cash prize being drawn that day. We also then have Wrapped in Courage, which is our campaign during Women Abuse Prevention Month in November. And then the main draw is actually on November 25th, which is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And it's just another way to support survivors and, help sustain our life-changing programs and services, but also perhaps changing your life too with an opportunity to win.
If we were doing a mile in her shoes, that's approximately how many steps? Am I throwing off?
That is, I am not good with numbers, and so I would need to be fact-checked on that. I have no idea.
Well, you know what? We won't fact-check it. We'll just put our cell phones on, right? So you'll have your. Are you going to go for the walk as well?
Absolutely, I'm there every year, and I wouldn't miss it.
Do me a favor. Have your cell phone on you, or your Apple Watch or Fitbit. Yeah. I want to count. I want to review. I want all that stuff. All the best with the upcoming Walk a Mile in her shoes.
Thank you so very much.